Hello, Dan the Tambio DC channel, and you know what is coming up here? So, when I comment on my channel, I try to get to everybody unless they don't really give me a reason to comment. It makes my channel feel like I'm more interactive and interacting with the people there. But of course, you get those really terrible and very rude, nasty comments too. But they aren't gonna work here, and I saw through their goddamn flaws. Matter of fact, I came prepared. So first off, let's go to the Discord. So I sent these, they feel like grifters, obviously, to Dave. This is what Dave had to say. Kills your dog, epic frickin' rage bait. So they're also trying to do the same thing. And then I went on to link some other stuff and show some other messages. I always come up with something new in my head, and I thought about that frickin', especially the nostalgia critic bit. I think that's actually up here somewhere, yeah. And I wanted to say that. I always have different things to say. And then I actually pulled up the clip because, let's see, where is it? I think it's, no, that's the one I'm about to watch. So where is it? So I said this stuff. This was one of the comments I pinned, and it was the first comment I had on the channel. I do feel like rage bait is a really stupid thing. It's kind of like hate watching. It's like pointless, it's stupid, and it can go wrong and essentially can be executed terribly. And I feel like even though in his mind it's executed perfectly, I do not agree because it's the subject matter that you're doing it to that is not great. And clearly, because I also titled my other video, not this one, frickin' toxic community, they clearly have proven that point here with some of these people. So you got this one. This is hilarious. You completely missed the point. So have you. He specifically did this to make people mad, and you only prove he was effective. Here's the thing. You're also proving me effective. First off, that you're toxic, just like my other video says. I mean, look at the frickin' title here. I know you didn't comment on this video, but I was still trying to make a similar point here, too. And second, frickin' we'll look at these comments as well. Yeah, thumbs up it. Try to ratio me. Frick you. You can shove it up your ass. Only fricking people just as rage baity, and I had these to say back to them in response. I even pointed out this thing with the Joker too. Hell, that's in the comment that's up here. So you also got rage baited essentially. Because you're here commenting, you're clearly mad about something, so you felt like you had to come here and comment. And so are the people giving you thumbs up. And then you got frickin' this guy here who had to compensate. And he made a part about this part right here. You hate most rap techno. First off, I never said that. Second off, you're putting words in my mouth. Third off, I respond with this. It looks like he made a new message here. He has to compensate again. Oh, whatever. Shove your sacrilege up your ass. These frickin' pretentious dumbasses. Oh, okay. That was just the other comments here. So I have this. I'm a professional painter, oil painter. I love AI. You know what? This brings up another point, actually. The problem with, I'll get to this stupid techno thing, of course, that he's saying, but it shows another point is that the way people are using AI in these types of situations are more as a weapon. Is rage bait not trying to be used as a weapon to piss people off? There's where a big problem lies, especially. It's being used as a weapon rather than as a tool. Here, it sounds like you might be talking about using it as a tool, but I'm not personally sure about that because I haven't seen your art yet. But it needs to be used as a tool. And what most people do, and I even feel like Asmongold did, and this is what makes him somewhat in the wrong, at least here, with how he rage baited, is he used it as a weapon. And that is not a good way of looking at it. I think the funniest things you can do are like look at the meme like AI generated clips of Hassan being beat up by his own dog or getting shocked by his dog because he has a dog collar instead. I love that stuff. When you're using it for that, I think it's a little like that kind of stuff is a lot more used for the humor to make it actually funny and fun. Here, clickbait is not some, or like not clickbait, but rage bait is not something I find fun or interesting. It's just a way to piss people off. It's just a way to annoy. And I just never find like, why would you want to do that to yourself? And why would you want to? Seems like a very unhealthy thing in general. That's like you're asking for bullying where I try to do the opposite on my channel, like a complete opposite. I try to prevent it. A matter of fact, these comments probably wouldn't exist here because they technically are trying to harass me in different ways and put words in my freaking mouth. It's freaking ridiculous. And I brought up the Save a Fox situation because I made a video like a couple weeks ago when that incident happened on perfect example of why bullying and harassment should not freaking exist. Sometimes it's just something like that. You just need to be careful and think about what you say before you frickin' say it. But anyways, let's play the clip on the techno thing, the techno and rap, or whatever else he says here, industrial. Also, another thing, I think, which comes back to that video I linked. I think when it comes to artists like that, they're putting a lot more work and effort into that stuff. Uh, it's also hard to say because AI did not exist then. So we did not have something to compare to in the first place. But I do think that video makes some very similar points, as well as I've seen the same argument, though this one's compensating clearly a lot more. Hell, I thought I was writing bigger, longer freaking comments, but apparently not. But yeah, it just brings up the point that this stuff just does not work very well. It's also trying to do the same problem of weaponizing something. Hell, it might as well be in the movie Weapon. But let's look at that clip because I think this can technically be. I'm only going to play part of it, but I think you can apply this today with like the AI art situation. Uh, I'm going to have it small just in case I don't know if I'll get copyright claimed.
Crappy digital effects?
Oh, that's just typical of you critics, isn't it?
I totally forgot he was still there.
Yeah, weren't you just an opening punchline?
I know how this works. When you point out bad digital effects, that means you hate all digital effects.
That's not what I said at all, but
I get it. You hate Pixar, you despise Jurassic Park, you want to see Officer Hobbs die!
okay, look, digital effects are wonderful and have come a long way, especially in horror films. CGI can make a ghostly image seem there and not there at the same time. It's one of the few examples where the uncanny valley actually helps an effect, and half the time, it's great in this film. The creepy painting coming to life, the headless boy, a good half of the digital effects are very effective.
Great! That means you love all CGI. I'm glad we cleared this up.
No, here's the thing. Like any effects, there's good and bad ones. And when you use them so often in your movie, the bad ones are gonna be easier to spot. The fear of Pennywise isn't that he's a ghost you can see through. He's supposed to look like he's really there. And if your digital effects don't have time to really make it look like his hand is turning into a werewolf or he's transforming into a monster, because you have to use that time on other digital effects, the fear is massively diluted.
Nope, it was all amazing, and you hate everything digital, like that blurry run effect. How
All right, that's a good stopping point. But that proves my point. You can use all those same points in just that one little part. And the fact that I can make a nostalgia critic comparison to a nostalgia critic joke already shows you're doing something wrong. The fact that I just took one freaking sentence from your entire thing here and can do that. You're already in the freaking wrong with that. It's freaking ridiculous. I don't want to touch on this other crap. Why should I go any further? You can see it before your eyes. I haven't read this one yet. I've only seen little parts of it because I think it just came up 2 hours ago and I was at a meeting, so I have a life. This person probably does not. But I try to be as communicative on my channel as I can. No, I am just trying to say, take it easy. This is not sacrilege or anything. I know that, but dude, that's already feels like it's hypocritical, dude. You already feel hypocritical. Why are you coming on here then and doing this and then this? Like, come on. And you can tell between the hours when I'm not responding that I'm clearly busy with something. So you can't just come in here and be like, oh, you have no life, all that crap. But yeah, like, what the hell is wrong with you? So I already feel like that's hypocritical. It's a traced World of Warcraft fan art photo. Is it traced? I'd have to go to Dave's video about it because I don't remember it being said to be traced. And Asmongold, I don't know which person you're talking about too. You did not clarify that, whether it's Asmongold saying it or the artist themselves who said it. So you did not clarify or make that very clear. But from what I heard, as well as even Asmongold himself saying it when he was about to send the message in that video, he said that he used AI to freaking trace it. And the way he did it was still really terrible. It is just the fact that he freaking like, okay, here's the point here actually. You know what? This isn't even relevant because you know why? It is the way it was utilized that is the problem. That's where the real problem is lying. And the fact that, and you know what? Another thing, if you saw his chat room was egging him on and freaking saying, AI is better, rely on it, and all that crap. So there's two things going for why this is irrelevant. And I'm pretty sure there's some other points that can be brought up here. This is why I was making the point that sampling art and using it to make new iterations is not uncommon at all. And then maybe come down off the high horse, excuse me. Excuse me. You're defending somebody on their high horse 24 freaking 7. Once again, another freaking hypocritical thing. Man, you just do not freaking see your hypocrisy here. I am a professional oil painter and I love AI because it does not threaten me at all. It cannot do what I do. Why do you have to use the term threaten? Why do you feel like you have to? It feels like you're threatened by having to use the term threaten in this case. There's just a lot of hypocrisies going on here. That's all I see, as well as some irrelevancy to what the actual problem is. Anyways, moving on. I should probably play this video because his comment still applies to this. By the way, AI is annoying and freaking ads too. It is freaking everywhere and freaking annoying as freaking hell. Can freaking die in a fire.
Welcome in.
AI should be used as a tool. A tool. Whether it's to support some things, but not completely take over. And I know that technically he didn't completely take over, but it is the way that he handled it. This was an art piece that was, from what I learned, 5 years old. He just more recently decides to come on, by the way, AI garbage, uh, and be like, I feel like people are using the tracing thing now as an excuse. It almost feels like a weapon in of itself in order to get out of the situation of being uh, whined to or whatever about why it's wrong. So I feel like it's just them trying to create another scapegoat within a scapegoat. It's some scapegoat freaking inception going on. But I think that he makes a good point. I'm trying to find out where that was. I probably should have got this part prepared. Let's see. Can't remember quite where this part was. The AI historian, the progress police. Is this it? Yeah, okay, here it is. This is the part that I'm thinking of, and it feels very much like what you were trying to bring
It
up.
was the end of movies. When Photoshop came out,
This
see a pattern
this
here?
type of
All
comment,
this
as
to
well as the
say,
one you made,
get
at
over
least in the
yourself,
first half,
June
feels
eater.
very
This
much like what
argument
I've
was the
seen
most
a
common
million
one that I
times.
heard. Well, this
One
one
has probably
and
seen a
the
million
one I'll
times.
go over next, but we'll get to that. Some comments even brought up how horses were replaced by cars, but most of these comments were about how photography caused an uproar in the art community. And you know what? They're right. Yes, cars disrupted the horse carriage industry, and photography disrupted portrait paintings. And not one artist would ever claim that AI images aren't disrupting the creative field as a whole. So, what's the issue? There's a couple issues, actually. First, horses are not trying to pass themselves off as cars. And photography isn't trying to pass itself off as oil paintings. But people like this jabroni are very much trying to pass off their generated images as traditional art. He's the guy who snuck into an art competition without disclosing that he AI generated his submission beforehand. AI prompters know what they're
Also, that is just completely wrong if you're not going to specify that you're using AI generation for something. And I've seen some people do that on YouTube, sadly, especially like some because there was like a music artist that did specify that a lot of his background music was AI generated background music, guitars, drums, whatever. But then you have somebody, then you see an image of clearly AI art for the thumbnail and such, and even within the video, because you'll see stuff like the multiple fingers and stuff. But they won't disclose that part of it. So they only disclose one part, but you can tell the other part, unless they feel like they don't have to because it's obvious, but I feel like you should still disclose that kind of thing. And I've run into several artists that have done that before, sadly. I don't think we need this anymore. But yeah, let's see if there's anything else. I think it was just this video and it was just very simple things. It wasn't anything. But I thought my responses were funny. So I just sent this back to this person. And then I just said, so this was, I think this is a pinned comment that I just had on there. Yeah, or something. It's not pinned though. I should, so that people can see it. And of course I had to say back to him, I know you are, but what am I? But yeah, I these insults do feel like preschool level insults, do they not? They're freaking ridiculous. And some of them are compensating for something, some of them don't really have much. And it's freaking stupid. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about and show there. But I do not think that rage baiting should exist. It is just as terrible as, once again, hate watching. There's no point to it. Uh, and there are plenty of examples of not only rage bait, but also pranks and jokes going wrong. I mean, people, we live in a world where things can be subjective, objective, or both, or a world where something can go right and something can go wrong, and even a wrong thing can go right and a right thing go wrong. So, and I feel like this is a case where they did something that I don't know which it would have been because my brain's fucking exploding over this. But I feel like they did something in their mind that was right and it turned into a wrong. So I do not think that it was executed well. There are plenty of other things to it as well, why it's in the wrong. For example, the harassment towards the artist themselves, or not really harassment, but they were certainly being an asshole over it when they could have freaking approached it very differently. Uh, and finally, my final point, Asmongold, as think I said in one of the previous videos, he's had collective stupid things coming up that have somehow not got him canceled or anything, but they are slowly building on top of one another. One stupid thing he does after another, and it's just gotten to that point where it's like, he's got to have some sort of consequence, or he's got to apologize or something. Like, you can't be doing this. It's freaking ridiculous, whether it's traced or not. The way you handled it and the way you approached it was terribly wrong. So if the people who commented on those previous videos see this, that is what I'm trying to mostly get at, is that those people, the way the people handled it, like Asmongold, was terribly wrong. And that's why I think he is more in the wrong than in the right on this, because of his handling of it, because of his wordage. It's kind of like you go and be a rude asshole to somebody, and then you said, "Oh, I was purposely trying to do this to rage bait." But I can sense the genuine anger you had towards it. You had genuine anger, bro. So clearly it got to you, and then, oh, sorry, that was loud. It got to you, and then you got to it. And then you say, "Oh, this was the plan from the very beginning. I was totally just." Once again, it feels like a stupid scapegoat within a scapegoat. So there you go. I hope that clears up things for you. It's freaking ridiculous. Uh, AI needs to be used as a tool, and sadly, it has mostly been used as a weapon. Whether a metaphorical or even a physical weapon, who knows what it will be used for. Who knows what in the future else it would be used for. But I feel like I used this example before. It's kind of like you gave a random citizen superpowers. What is that random citizen probably going to do with them? They're probably going to be the equivalent of a supervillain. So yeah, do with that as you will. Think about that as you will. I hope I answered your question on that. I hope you are satisfied with that answer. And do let me know more of what you have to say. But once again, don't be a dickhead about it. There's no call for that. We've seen the examples of what happens when you're a dickhead over something. And I'm glad I'm just a person not as easily persuaded or messed with about that stuff. Because I've seen enough of it to be like, whatever, these people are also trying to rage click. But I'm a kind person, and I'm a person who wants to respond, even if it's a smart ass way, like I did, especially with this. I love the smiley face crying one, where I just send the same 3 emojis back to that person, just to be a smart ass. But as long as you can have fun with it, this was not a fun situation. Matter of fact, I did not want to talk about it at all, but I feel like almost nobody will talk about it if it's not talked about. Hell, most people don't even cover a lot of this stuff of Asmongold, and even when they do, they don't make that big a deal of it. So I felt like this was finally like the last straw. This was the broke the camel's goddamn back situation. Uh, Building over time of just plenty of other stupid things he's done. I am glad that he's cleaned up his life, though he's also breaking it in other ways. So, yeah, I think I do agree with him. He is becoming an angrier version of himself. Once again, I think it's the fact it shows that it's so petty that he got mad over a piece of art from frickin' like, what was it, 5 years ago? The fact that he got so worked up and said the stuff that he did shows that he got rage baited himself in a way. He rage baited himself and then decided to turn that around and say, "I'm trying to rage bait." I'm totally not rage baited myself. Anyways, I hope you have an awesome day. I will see you next time. Bye bye.